Well, good day, fellow condo members. My name is Lee Broughton, and I serve on the board of directors of the Sterling Gate Condominium Corporation. And I'm here to give you, as condo members, more information about our condo fees. As you know, this is the time of the year where the board of our condo corporation gets together to approve condo fees for July 1st. They get reset every July 1st. And I can tell you that we have met as a board to go through that process. And before I sort of give you that understanding of how the condo fees are changing, I just want to focus on the two key elements of your condo fees. The first and most significant element of your condo fees is to cover our operating costs. Our operating costs for really our year ending, in this case, with condo fees being reset July 1st, 2021. We're talking about resetting our condo fees for the year ended June 30th, 2022, from July 1st of 2021 to June 30th of 2022. And our operating costs form a significant component, the substantial component of those costs. And then the second element is the contribution, the portion of your condo fee that gets contributed into the condo corporation's reserve fund. And that contribution level has been set to this point, has been set based on the reserve fund study that you all received about a year ago from the condo corporation. So let's look at the operating costs. I can tell you that our operating costs are going to go up when we look at the next fiscal year. We estimate, based on the budget that was approved, we estimate that our operating costs will increase by about $15,000 for the year. And more than half of that increase, approximately $8,000 of that increase, is coming through higher insurance premiums. And as many of you know who have insurance policies, you've seen an insurance industry that's hardening, and as a result, premiums are rising for similar coverage levels. We worked with Taranich Management, our property manager, to make sure that we sourced out the best available rates for renewal. And as a result, we're looking at an increase in our insurance costs of about $8,000 on an annual basis. The remaining $7,000 of the operating cost increase is really in three components, none of which are obviously as significant as the insurance. There has been increased operating costs budgeted for road sweeping, sanding, and those sorts of activities. There's been some increased budget for our lawn maintenance as well, and as well increased budget for our snow removal, and snow shoveling. So those are the areas where there is some, what I would call less than significant, some marginal increases. The combined effect of those three areas is about $7,000. So there's your $15,000 annual increase in operating costs. And when you look at, 32 members, you can do your division and come up with about a $40 per month increase in condo fees relating to that $15,000 increase in our operating budget. Now, let's move on to the second element of the condo fees, and that's our reserve, the contributions into the reserve fund. Now, what's happened over the last year is we as a corporation have experienced some unforeseen repair expenses that we have had to pay for out of our reserve fund. We've had to make those payments, and the total to date, and that's over the last 12 months, is payments of approximately $21,000. Where has that what's caused the $21,000? Well, first off, you remember last spring, we had a number of issues with our irrigation. The valve, there was a problem with the valve, and as many of you can remember, we couldn't get our sprinklers running very early last year. Thank goodness we had we had a reasonably wet spring, unlike this year, but we couldn't get them going. We had to do some significant repair work to the valves, the valve system, and as well throughout the year, throughout the summer, we were doing repairs to our irrigation system around the perimeter and in the middle of the development as well. And by the time we paid all those bills on the irrigation system, that totaled about $13,000. Now, that's 13. The remaining 8,000 to make up for the $21,000 total. That $8,000 came from the biggest snowfall in a generation, November 8th, 2020. We all remember that. We had to pay an additional $8,000 for snow removal costs, and as a result, we had to make those payments. And so the snow removal was $8,000. The irrigation repairs and work that was done in 2020 was $13,000. That's $21,000. So as a result of making those payments out of the reserve fund, we are $21,000 behind right now on our reserve fund balance. If you look at the reserve study that you received last year, you will see that we should be running at around $66,000 in our reserve fund at July 1st, 2021. And unfortunately, we're going to end up around $45,000. That's $21,000 short for reasons I just outlined. Now, the other thing we want to do is, as we've incurred unforeseen expenses, we want to be more proactive in identifying other areas where we may have unforeseen expenses. And at this point, we've identified a few areas. The most significant area that we've identified that we're going to spend additional funds on this season, this summer, will be our roads. You can walk around the horseshoe, and it's pretty easy to see that our asphalt, our road system, is in need of repair. We believe that work needs to be done this season. To let it wait will only cause further problems for us, and we think we can do some proactive, preemptive measures, repair work, and we've gotten quotes for that. We've also looked at the curbs, the cement curbs along the roads, and there's a lot of work to do there. We're not proposing that all of that repair work need to be done this year, but I think we need to, the board feels that there needs to be some progress made on that. And there are other in the common areas, we see some other work that should be done above and beyond just the normal operations. So we're estimating, and again, it's an estimation, but we're estimating about $14,000 to spend on those key areas in this coming budget year. So that would take our total. If we look at the $21,000 we've incurred to date and about $14,000 we expect, that puts us at $35,000. Now, we felt that the most prudent and practical way to make up that $35,000 was to increase our reserve contribution for condo fees. And as a result, it'll be 4 years. We have 4 years until we get the next reserve study done. So we felt that why don't we pay that $35,000 off over 4 years rather than in one shot or through a shorter time period? Let's pay it off. Let's pay that off over 48 months. And when you do the math, and again, I'm averaging because of course some units are larger than others and unit factors and all that, but on an average basis, that 48-month payment plan on the $35,000 would increase your monthly condo fees by $20. And we felt that was the most practical way to do it. We need to constantly monitor our unforeseen expenses, and we've unfortunately had some things happen that we obviously are unforeseen, and you'll recall if you look at the reserve study estimated a number of replacement costs that was known to that engineer when that study was done in the fall of 19. So what we're talking about here, either the $21,000 with the irrigation and the excess snow, and now with the roads and the curbs, all of that was not foreseen. In fact, we didn't expect to make any spending out of our reserve fund, according to the reserve study, until about 2024. But things have worn out, and we've had events happen, and these things are not unusual. The problem is when you do a reserve study, you can't forecast all those unforeseens. So we have to deal with them as we go. And we thought the most prudent approach was to smooth them over, take them over the period of time between now and the end of the reserve fund. This will be a process that we will monitor and look at every annual budget cycle. Now, that represents, in summary, that represents a $60 per month increase to your condo fees, $40 for the operating costs that we talked about, and $20 for this reserve fund. And I can assure you, as members, none of us, and the 7 board members and the 25 non-board members of our 32 group, none of us want to pay more for condo fees. We all are united in that. But as a board, we have to do what's best for the corporation, to keep the corporation solvent and financially viable. And we have to do what's best for our members as well. And keeping the corporation in good financial position is good for our membership. It's good for our property. And as a result, we as a board have made these decisions. We felt also it was important that we provide this video to you because we felt we wanted to make sure we were transparent and we were clear with you on what's happening in our development and what is impacting your and our monthly condo fees. So we hope that you have found this video helpful. We hope it's a helpful supplement to the budget documentation that will be provided to you from our property manager. And we hope that that provides you with more information, more transparency, and an understanding, a better understanding of what's changing right now to our condo fees. Thank you very much for your time. Thank you for watching this video. And may we all have a great summer season ahead of us. Thank you.